Howdy, y'all. I'm Adam, the Renaissance Nerd. We are now 4 weeks. No, I'm sorry, 3 weeks, 4 episodes. It feels like it's been 4 weeks or longer. We are now 4 episodes, and 3 weeks into the Rings of Power. And as I've been describing to you in several different streams and several different videos, there have been stages of dealing with the fallout of how bad this show is. This show is terrible on so many fronts, but it is essentially terrible because it's destroying characters that are beloved. This show is not about Galadriel. This show is about Galadriel, warrior princess, who is an insufferable bitch. But the media, they're trying to, the shill media is trying to convince you that everything's okay. It's part of her arc. It's part of her growth. Oh, no. No, that's not how it works. You see, being an insufferable bitch and not learning anything, that's not an arc. That's just being an insufferable bitch. And I see you next Tuesday. But the damage control for this has gone from calling us racists to trying to fudge numbers to trying to play off that we're all haters to ignoring reality and pretending it's not existing, to then bringing in political allies to make it political, not just about pop culture, because they've lost that war already now. They've lost the front of pop culture, so they're trying to make it political. And then there's the trying to make you think that this all somehow folds into Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, which it does not in any way, shape, or form, because they've broken the lore so badly. But again, as I said, that's not stopping the shills from trying to tell you why Galadriel comes off as unlikable in the Rings of Power. Galadriel's personality in the Rings of Power seems arrogant and abrasive when compared to the stately grace of Galadriel in the Lord of the Rings. Oh, you don't say. Galadriel in the Rings of Power was quite different from her counterpart in Lord of the Rings. In Amazon's long-awaited series, Galadriel's character was portrayed as an abrasive and arrogant warrior princess. Someone's been watching my videos. Well, I give all credit to the chat. The chat came up with adding warrior princess to Galadriel. The chat, you guys win. You guys win. The Galadriel in Lord of the Rings was kind, warm, and gentle, with great beauty and charisma. It's difficult to imagine her as wrathful soldier clad in a suit of armor. Her elegance and stature didn't mesh with the unpleasant she-elf in the Rings of Power. This disparity could be explained by the thousands of years that separated young Galadriel from the older Galadriel. How about no? How about no? How about by the time we start the Second Age, she's married with a kid, or at least she has her husband. She's married, and during the Second Age, she has a kid. This Galadriel warrior princess, played by the ever scowling Morfydd Clark. She has 5 scowls that I've been able to document at this point. Maybe one day I'll try and point them out to you in a video. She has done nothing but be miserable to everybody around her, and in the opening prologue of episode 1, when she's being bullied, she becomes the bully. No one actually attacks her. She's the one that physically attacks somebody else, ready to lay the beat down on another elf. She's aggressive and unlikable from the moment we're introduced to her. And then it only gets worse because she just continues to treat people like shit. Even her supposed BBF, or what is it? BFF, sorry. I'm not a 14-year-old girl. I don't know the terminology. BFF. Femron. I mean, this exchange from episode 1, it's her personality. It has nothing to do with, oh, she has room to grow. No, it's the way they've written her. I mean, look at this.
Test him again. You may find him less receptive than you might have hoped.
Are you going to arrange an audience or not?
Take me to your manager. I want to see your manager. You shut up. You shut up and listen to me, because I'm a strong woman. She's unlikable. Remember, couple scenes before when they're on the tundra, she's browbeating her so-called loyal followers, commander of the Northern Army. Bitch. Insufferable bitch. But it doesn't end there. She gets worse and worse and worse. But they're going to try and explain it away in this article that it's because she's young. Depending on the calculation, Galadriel was anywhere from 1,200 to 2,200 years old at the time of the Rings of Power. First of all, that's a bullshit thing because I have been told by the lore guys that an elf reaches full maturity at 1,000. They're adult. They are adult. And at the time of the Second Age, she's got a husband. Where's Celeborn? During the Second Age, she gives birth to her child, her daughter, who's supposed to marry Elrond. She's an adult. To say that she's a young, brash, immature girl suffering from monumental grief and deep loss, it's bullshit. Manufactured CW bullshit. So first of all, to say that she's only 1,200 to 2,200 years old, that's bullshit because it shows no one has bothered to tell you, or you haven't bothered to do the research and know that she's an adult. She's not young. And then to say that by the time of the Rings of Power, that is so much bullshit too because they have crunched the timeline. We have no idea what year it is right now because they're just putting all these silly, stupid CW plot arcs into one moment and then trying to paste them over actual lore that they have no rights to, so they can't actually legitimately talk about. And in The Lord of the Rings, she was roughly 7,000 years old. This was a substantial age difference. To illustrate the point in human years, would be comparing an 8-year-old's level of experience and knowledge to that of a 40-year-old. Again, you show your ignorance. My ignorance, well, I asked lore guys who know this stuff, and they educated me so that I have the knowledge to then deliver accurately in a statement like this. These idiots want to say, oh, she's basically, it's during the Second Age, she's like an 8-year-old in terms of experience compared to a 40-year-old adult. Bullshit. Bullshit. Not to mention, you're butchering her lore. She never goes to Numenor. She never goes to Numenor. She was never Galadriel, warrior prince. I mean, this never happens.
Name thyself.
Galadriel of the Noldor, daughter of the Golden House of Finarfin, commander of the northern armies of High King Gil-galad.
She's not unlikable because she's young. She's unlikable because these people in charge of this show are writing her as an insufferable Karen bitch. You are looking in the face of the person who holds your life in the palm of their hand. Can do with you what you will. You are not going to stop hundreds of soldiers, although this is Galadriel Warrior Princess. I would have put it past them to have her do that. You are at their mercy, but yet you're going to be an insufferable bitch and haughty and arrogant. And she doesn't learn. She doesn't learn. Later on, she's purposefully pissing off the leader in front of her, Queen Regent Mariel. She knows she has lost, but she just turns around, and then here's our one of our current favorite lines.
Grasping for a handhold in a tempest.
There is a tempest in me. It swept me to this island for a reason, and it will not be quelled by you, Regent.
Said a moment ago, she doesn't learn. She gets thrown in jail finally after that little confrontation. While she's in jail with Halbrand Sauron, and yes, newsflash, Halbrand is Sauron, he gives her a lesson about controlling people's fears to dominate them. Funny, huh? Yeah. Oh, he's not Sauron. Yeah, he's Sauron. During that little conversation in jail, he lists all the insults she has levied upon people during their stay in Numenor. Basically all of them. What does she do? Doesn't flinch. Doesn't learn her lesson. For Morfydd Clark to say, Humility is going to be a big part of her character arc. She hasn't shown any humility yet. We are halfway through the season now. She has not shown an ounce of humility. She treats people like dog shit. Elendil, trying to be her ally, friend to elves, trying to be her ally, and she treats him like this.
Suppose the words never managed to escape your throat.
Supposing they did, you'd be back at the palace in chains, even further from your destination.
Who is this mortal who speaks to me as if he has the slightest idea who I am?
Funniest part of that is that he knows exactly who she is, because I showed you a minute ago, previous scene, she announced who she was. Later in the episode, Isildur, Galadriel, Scourge of the Orcs. That's it, Scourge of the Orcs. Apparently they know who she is. Let's forget that bad writing, but she behaves horribly to everyone, and it's not because she's young. It's because they've written her as they think powerful women's should be displayed. Insufferable, angry Karens. It's not about her being young. It's about the fact that you people in charge of this show don't know how to write her, and that the shills are going to protect you to the very end and try to convince people that this is somehow going all the way back to actual Lord of the Rings that was respected with the Peter Jackson trilogy. These people, they claim to respect the lore with one hand. They'll say, oh, here we go. Respect the lore. It's going to turn to lore. But then you got the folks at GameSpot going to tell you, oh, don't respect the lore. Lore needs to be like, oh, you got to forget about canon. Otherwise, how are you going to enjoy this bad billion-dollar fan fiction? We reject this. It is being rejected wholly. Hell, Hot D is slapping itself on Rings of Power's face and going, everybody likes me. This show is an abomination. Galadriel, or Galadriel Warrior Princess, is unlikable because she's been written that way. She's been written as a woke, virtue-signaling, narcissistic, insufferable, intersectional bitch. Nobody likes her. There's a reason a lot of us are saying right now we're Team Sauron. Sauron did nothing wrong because, frankly, this world created by Amazon's Rings of Power, it deserves the benevolent overlord to rule over them and control them and tell them to sit down and shut up and no, you cannot be the manager. All right, I'm done. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, a like would be very much appreciated. If you are new here, I invite you to subscribe to me right here on YouTube, where I hope to earn your trust and support using facts and logic, because facts and logic do not care about whiny fifis. Hit the notification button, share my video if you like what I'm preaching, and by all means, leave comments. I love to hear from you real folks out there, because, hey, you're just like me. You're a fan, and you just want good shit, and you don't want to destroy our shit. I do not care what the whiny stands and SJWs have to say, because 201, they are cowards behind keyboards, and I cannot wait for this video and every stream and other video I make to trigger them into a gibbering mess. Thank you again for watching this video. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therennerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.